Shalom. Okay, so this message is for those who are new into the walk or to the truth. Terms that I don't really like to use that often because people have their own truths in their own minds, and there are many different truths. But mainly just for those who are out there seeking to be obedient to the Father, know that there's more to the scriptures than maybe other denominations are willing to discuss. This message is for those. So, one thing I would like to say is that I often get messaged and people ask me what type of Bible do I use. I use the KJV Bible, I use the ISR scriptures, as well as the Sefer. Now, you do not have to go out and buy $100 Sefer book. You don't have to go out and buy a million different books in order to study properly. You can still study with the regular Bible. There are many different apps you can use. So you don't have to feel obligated to buy a bunch of different books in order to study properly. Um, you do just have to understand that when you're using certain translations, that there are mistranslations, and there are things that you do have to dig a little bit deeper to get a full understanding of what the scriptures are saying. So you do have to just keep that in mind. So I also want to say there is something that I notice a lot, and I think that it can be a big stumbling block for people. Is that I see that a lot of times we idolize a lot of camps or groups or people, and to the point where we lose the fact that we are serving the Father, and I see that happening a lot. So we put people on these high pedestals, and we expect so much, and we look at them as, oh, they're so perfect and they're ideal and everything is so, I wish I could be just like them. And I'm not saying that people aren't righteous. Obviously there are many. I think that there are several righteous people out there who are spreading the word and doing the work of the Most High. What I'm saying is, when we idolize groups and camps and people, sometimes we find ourselves disappointed or sad or mad or frustrated when they're not who we thought they were. When they show themselves to be regular people, with regular flaws and regular struggles, we're disappointed because we held them on such a high pedestal. Some of the people, and I know there are exceptions because I know some people do want to be worshipped, but I'm saying some of the people who are spreading the word, they're just trying to spread the word. They're not trying to be looked at as anything other than a person who is obedient and doing the work of the Father. So, but sometimes we put that on other people, and we put that type of pressure on them and we make them idols in our minds and in our hearts, when we have to understand that they're people. What we're seeking and what we're trying to follow is the Father. And we sometimes we cleave more to the group and to the people than we do to the Father and His Word. And sometimes that can be a stumbling block. So, whether you're, so sometimes we just have to keep that in mind. We have to keep that in mind when we are doing that. Now, I'm not against following teachers or things like that. There's a teacher that I've been listening to, and I know that I can gain some good biblical understanding that I've been listening to early on in my walk and still listen to now. And I definitely think that comes from the Most High. And yeah, so I'm not against following. My point is that we have to understand, we have to have a balance. And sometimes we overstep that balance and we become infatuated and in awe of certain things, and we forget that our whole point is to be obedient to the Father and not to certain things. So I hope I made that clear. I've had people message me even and say, oh, your family's so perfect, or oh, looks like y'all have it all together, and da da da. And it's like, no, we have our struggles too. There are things that I know myself that I need to get together, and I still have to. Now, there are many things that I have perfected and things that I am still trying to perfect. And our family as a whole, we are trying to make sure that we're working and trying to make sure that we are in tune with the Father and His Word. So there's still many things that we have to do, and we are trying to do to make sure that we are walking perfectly in the eyes of the Most High. So, but I mean, I wish I could say that, oh, we're so perfect and righteous and all of this stuff. Like, do my kids throw tantrums? Yes. Do my kids make me want to put them in a headlock as well as my husband in a headlock? Yes. Yes, that's just the reality. That's just how it is. I mean, it's not always perfect and roses and flowers around here. Sometimes it's frustrating, but um, we just have to understand that we are trying to be perfect. We are walking in tune, and we are trying to be a cod in the Father. So I just want to keep that in mind. Also, another thing is don't be discouraged. Don't be discouraged. There are many, many, many things that can discourage us in this walk. Even from when we first hear the word and we're so excited, we have a fire that we want to tell friends and family, and the fire that we have, we expect them to have that fire, and it's not there because for them this is foreign to them, even though it's something that they can see right in their scriptures and it's just you being obedient. It's still foreign because it's not mainstream. So when we bring it to them and they're like no, or they're, whatever they say, they, you know sometimes it can get nasty with the family, or sometimes, whatever. Don't let those things discourage you. Don't be discouraged by your family's dismissiveness or your friends dismissing the information or any of that. Don't be discouraged. Even you can be discouraged with the things in the walk, from all the discord that might be out there, the discord from other brothers or sisters, or all the different doctrines. All these different things can discourage you and make you just say, "Oh, nobody knows what they're talking about. Nobody's, everybody's just doing. I'm just gonna forget the whole thing," and it causes people to just completely fall away. So what you have to do and understand that there are still facts, regardless if some of the people who are giving the facts have misuse them or whatever. There are still facts. Yes, the Father does still have a true name. It was taken out, yes, and he actually has a name. Yeah, there are many ways that people pronounce his name, but the fact is that he does have a name. You do the research, figure it out, understand it, and apply it. Same thing, we know that the Father did set a day for a rest. There is an actual rest day. Search it out, follow it, apply it. There is an actual people that he made a covenant with that are still relevant today. That's a fact. So those type of truths we can't just throw away because the people who are speaking the truth are misusing it. So don't be discouraged by those things. You know, sometimes you have to step back, get your mind clear, you know, turn off the YouTube, turn off the Facebook, turn off all that other stuff, and just focus on yourself. Study, read, and the things that you study and you read, apply those things to your life. That's the best thing you can possibly do. Don't be discouraged by all the different distractions that are in the world, in the walk, all of those different things. Focus on yourself, in your house, and making sure that you are lining up with the Father. So those things are very important. So I hope I didn't ramble too much and I gave clear things. Yes, you don't have to buy a million books in order to study. Don't feel obligated. Don't feel pressured to having to buy so many things. You know, remember that people are just people. Don't hold people up to such pedestals and idolize them in such a way that we forget that the Father is the one that we serve. Don't be discouraged. Focus on yourself. So those are the things that I just wanted to share with those who are new coming into the walk, and that you are definitely not alone. You know, many people are going through it, and sometimes it can feel very lonely because, you might be the only person in your house, the only person in your state, the only person, whoever, but there are many people who are having daily struggles, and sometimes it's good to find a brother or sister that you can talk to and communicate with, and you know, um, lean on one another to get that strength and that guidance that sometimes we all need. So yeah, that's it. So shalom.